Alright, hi, we're on technical manual number 55203, technical order number 45A2212, operation maintenance of diesel electric locomotive, departments of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., 25th October 1965, Part 1, Chapter, General Introduction, Diesel Engine Principles, and Diesel Engine. Chapter 2, Railway Diesel Engine Fuel Supply System, Engine Lubrication System, Engine Cooling Water System, Governor, and Engine Air Intake. Chapter 3 is number 9, electrical fundamentals, elementary electricity, two principles of power and equipment. Chapter 10, main power system, section 1, power transmission section, power 2, control system. Chapter 11, auxiliary power system, sections 1 through 4, power system, auxiliary, battery system, engineering, starting system, for auxiliary equipment. Chapter 4, air brakes and accessories of diesel electric locomotive, structural factors, trucks. Chapter 14, trucks, operation, diesel electric locomotive. Chapter 5:15, operating instruction, locomotive application, inspection, and maintenance. Chapter 6, chapter is regulations governing inspection and testing, 1 through 8. Brake equipment, draw gear, running gear, wheels, car lights, whistles, bells, sanders, signals, electrical equipment, internal combustion equipment, and report of forms, boilers, and heater care. Chapter Chapter 6 says, Part 6, Chapter Section 18, maintenance categories of echelons, locomotive maintenance, painting, lettering, numbering. Part 7, Chapter diesel electric locomotive repairs, repair facilities, diesel engine repairs, other mechanical repairs. Electrical equipment repairs, demolition of locomotives to prevent enemies from using reference, enemy use. Appendix, reference, glossary, and index. Part 1, General Introduction. Purpose. This manual is published for the use of personnel engaged in the operation, inspection, and maintenance of diesel electric locomotive. It may be used for general reference for regulation, standards, procedures governing such work. It describes construction and typical diesel electric locomotive and its components and the procedures to be followed in the routine emergency locomotive operation and requirements for adequate inspection, maintenance, and locomotive. Because of the variety of makes, the models, and government-owned diesel electric locomotives, it is not practical to present specific detail for all locomotives. At the time, it will be necessary to refer to the Department of Army Operating and Maintenance Instruction Manuals covering a specific locomotive to complete the information. The following terms or the following items are among those discussed in the various portions of this manual. B. The construction of locomotive and components included with the principle and design, operation, generators, transmission equipment, diesel engine, fuel, lubrication, cooling system, governor, superchargers, turbochargers, air, oil, filtration, compressors, accessories, air brake rigging, standard multi-gauge trucks. Operation covers the normal locomotive manual in addition to the inspection and precautions to be observed before and after operation to avoid damage. And elementary maintenance as in pertains to engine crew responsibility. D. Maintenance portions of the manual will tell what to do. The discussion of facilities generally the guideline on what work shall be done. The rules and reports applying to the maintenance rules are also included. Appropriate intervals are suggested in some instances, but it is beyond the scope of the manual and attempt to set up maintenance schedules to give detailed discussion on how work is to be done. The material presented here in the applicable without modification to nuclear non-nuclear warfare. 2. The changes and revisions user in the manual and encouraged to submit the recommendation changes and comments to improve this manual. These should be the keys in specific page, paragraph, and line in the of the text. Reasons should be provided for each of the comment recommended changes to ensure the understanding of the complete evaluation. Comments and recommended changes should be forwarded directed to the commandment of the U.S. Army Transportation School of 10, the Director of the Doctrine and Literature in Fort Eudis, Virginia, 23604. Advantage of the diesel electric locomotive. The diesel engine were the longest recognized diesel prime movers of the sources of power. Before it was practical to use them in railroad operation. The engines were so large and heavy that they were mainly stationary power plants. Refinements in designing other improvements resulted in design and other improvements resulted from the first experimental use of diesel engine railroads and the railway cars. Even in small application, it was soon apparent that mechanical and hydraulic transmission of the time were not sufficient to meet all the service requirements, and the electric drive was then developed, and the operating characteristics of electrical equipment, embracing the various relationships of the torque and current voltage and speed, provided to be an excellent solution to the problem. The application of the diesel engine was expanded from the railway cars to the switching service, and then heavy through the traffic into the freight and passenger service. Diesel electric locomotives were available for the service of greater percentage of the time in the steam locomotive. This was due to the reduced servicing requirements of major components, and are often repaired on replacement basis, reducing the time a locomotive is often out of service for repairs. B. The greater flexibility in the coupling units of various train assignments is impossible for the multiple unit controls, whereby one cab controls several units. This makes available for the wide range of horsepower, plus a high degree of standardization of the rail parts of the maintenance shop. Electric traction in general and reach for the presented extensive application because of the superior operating characteristics and the economic fuel repairs. It is cleanliness, simplicity, and reliability. Steam turbo-electric gas turbo-electric power has not reached a stage development for locomotives comparable to that of the diesel-electric systems. The railroad electrification was in the comparable in service required for the cost wire system, corresponding heavy traffic density, and to justify its use more even with the weight distributed over the rails. It is accomplished by the use of diesel-electric locomotives. Modern diesel-electric locomotives are assembled and of many component parts. Details vary considerably depending on the make and the model, but all types are generally similar. Automatic operation of much of the equipment is designed to ease and control of the locomotive as a unit. The operation diesel-electric locomotive is very simple. Diesel engine procedure, the mechanical power within which the generator converts to electric power to drive the traction motor's gear to the axle. The very output and the speed of the locomotive, and the operator engine man has only to move the throttle which controls the lower both power plants. Moving the throttle upward from the first position permits the fuel to the diesel engine, which speeds up to deliver or more power to the generators, thus to the traction motors. Chapter 2. Diesel engine principles.